Guys, this is Felicia, your Ballin' and Bipolar Success Coach here. So, I have something super exciting that is coming soon. I can't tell you about it because my team would freaking kill me. We're doing all kinds of work on the back end of everything, and it will be coming soon. But today, what I wanted to do for you is I wanted to give you a little morsel of what is going to be included in this thing that we're doing, okay? What I think is a huge problem or a huge pain point for people who are bipolar or struggle with mental health issues is how do I manage my life and prioritize my kids or my job or my business or my spouse and my relationships, but also how do I stay mentally healthy at the same time? It's like we have all these things going on running through our heads all the time. And if you're bipolar and if you're like me, our brain is firing away all the time. And it takes a lot of work to be able to take not only baby steps in the right direction, but how do we actually be present for our lives outside of just bipolar? So today what we're going to do, and in this thing that is going to happen soon, we're going to have a resource for this. So don't worry, you're going to have it, and I'm going to teach you how to use all of this. But this is one specific piece of what we're going to be doing. This is going to be how to prioritize what is of utmost importance, which is our mental health and our bipolar disorder, and then how to be present for the other priorities in our lives, and then how to choose one thing of fulfillment. Okay. So, the reason I came up with this is because I remember years ago where I was trying to not only get stable and manage my bipolar, and okay, I have to go to appointments and I have to take meds and I have to do all the holistic stuff and I have to make sure that blah blah blah. But then how are you like, okay, I need to be good at my job, the thing that makes me money. Or I need to be present for my kids and I'm not present for my kids because I'm worried about all this over here. Like, how do we navigate that? And the thing that was missing for me when I was first diagnosed was someone to hold my hand through this path. Okay. So, today on this live, we're going to go through what I find really, really helpful. And when I go back to like 10 years ago, yeah, probably 10 years ago, I remember sitting at my desk and I had a post it note. And the post it note said, work out 3 times daily or 3 times weekly, take meds, go to appointments. And I looked at it every day and I was like, okay, I gotta do those every week. I gotta do those every week. And what that became in years later and years since is now part of my meditation practice and part of my daily kind of routine is lining out my life with 3 top priorities. Because I think that's really helpful to think about our life and maybe not to categorize your life, but in a way it helps us organize our life. Because if you are sitting here worried about 20 different things or trying to do 20 different things, we're probably going to suck at 20 different things. So, what I find really helpful in my own life is what is my top priority and what are achievable action steps that I can actually do to fulfill that priority every single day, every single week. Okay. Now, these top 3 priorities could change as your life changes, as seasons change. Okay. What I want to do for you is I'm going to go through my top 3 priorities and my achievable action steps for each of those. And then you can plug that in to your own life. Do not have more than 5. Okay. The reason that you don't want to have more than 5, again, it's because then it becomes overwhelming. Oh my gosh, I'm worried about 5 things and these achievable action steps for all 5 things. We don't need that. Keep it simple. If we keep it simple and focused, then those 3 top priorities become natural. It becomes natural. It becomes like brushing our teeth. This is just what I do. Now I can add a little bit more in there. Now I can add another priority. Now I can add this and that. But we start with the top 3 that are most important. And the other caveat to this is you can have a goal for days. But if you don't have achievable action steps, how are we going to meet that goal? Okay? So if you have your top priority is mental health, okay, cool. And then my next priority, okay, but what does that even mean? If my priority is mental health, what does that mean? What do I do every week to keep up my mental health? So, for instance, for me, my number one priority is me. Because if I am not 100, I cannot be there for my other responsibilities. Okay. I can't show up every day for my job. I can't show up for my nephew. I can't show up for who I need to be in my life. So, priority one for me is my mental and physical health. Felicia is my priority. But what does that really mean? Felicia has a lot of different priorities, mental and physical health. You know why? Those two things for me go together. Maybe yours is just your mental health. Maybe yours is just bipolar and stabilizing that. The reason that I have two of these here is because I've gotten a little bit more advanced and I can combine these because physical health only complements our mental health. So they go together. What are my achievable action steps every week? Well, for my mental health and brain, I need to keep up my morning routine, my affirmations, my meditations, staying silent, okay? And I need to make sure I'm doing the right things for my supplements and my meds, and I'm doing daily check-ins to make sure my moods are good. For the physical health component, I know that I need to go to my boxing classes at least 3 times a week because I know that that's going to make me feel better. Okay? Achievable action steps. Now, if that sounds like a lot to you, it's okay. Do one thing, one priority, one action step. One priority, one action step. Okay? That's my top priority. Priority two is I need to be present for my nephew or, relationships, friends, things like that. But for all intents and purposes, I need to make sure that I am being the most present aunt and guardian that I can for my nephew. Now, also my niece, but she's a baby. I do what I can. But Malachi is my priority too. Now, he is not priority one because I need to be priority one because I can't show up for Malachi like I need to if I'm not physically and mentally okay. Priority two is Malachi. What are my achievable action steps in being present for Malachi? Okay. One is taking him to his daily practices. Okay. Like this kid is busy as hell. So I know that when I'm at football practice, I do not have my phone on me. I am present in that moment. We need to get off screens. We need to get off our phones. That is how I stay present for him. The other component there is making sure that I ask him about what his good parts of the day were. Ask him what got on his nerves that day. Ask him about himself and his day. And if I need to give him any kind of TED Talks, I'm there for it. For instance, the other day, I knew that there was a specific subject, and this is going off on a tangent, but this is important. I knew that there was a specific subject that I wanted to talk to Malachi about, and it was kind of a serious subject. But I knew that I didn't want to bring it up before school. I didn't want to bring it up before practice. You have to be really careful when you're talking to a 9-year-old about real life shit, okay? Well, I found a good moment last night. We were just chilling in my room. We were on my bed, kind of wrestling around, just talking, and I found an opportunity. And I just talked to him about this one subject in our lives that I'm not going to get into what it was, but it was important. And he was like, why are you talking to me about this now? And I was like, because Malachi, you don't need to be worried about stuff like this, but it's preparation, it's foundational things that we need to be aware of. And he's old enough to have the capacity to know about some stuff now. Okay. And I found an opportunity and I made sure that I communicated with him and I asked him, do you have any questions, concerns, anything like that? And the other thing that I make sure I do with Malachi is making sure that if he ever has something in his brain that he needs to get out or he's concerned about or worried about, which we hope kids are not worried, but that he knows he can go talk to somebody. If that somebody is not me, that's fine. But make sure he tells somebody that he needs to talk to somebody. And we have, coaches and counselors, and there's tons of people he can talk to. And I always want to make sure he knows that he's got people in his corner. So that is my achievable action step for Malachi being my priority. The next priority in my life, so mental health and physical health is one, Malachi is two. My third one is my job and my business. Now I combine these two because they go hand in hand for me now. Again, you do not have to combine things right now. Or you can, maybe you're good at life and you do want to combine some stuff. It's totally fine. But you don't have to. So the reason that my job is my priority is because that's what's making me money now. I have to be on point every single call I take. I'm in sales. So I have to, so therefore, for me to be present and energetic and doing what I need to do in sales, I have to take care of my mental and physical health to then come down here and be present and be good at my job. Now, the other thing is my business. So, what are achievable action steps for me to show up for my job and for my business? What those look like is taking care of my physical body and my energy and listening to sales training. Every day I listen to sales training so that I can implement that training on every single call. That is my achievable action step for my job. Okay. Now, for my business, it is anything going on that specific week. That changes from week to week. It might be, I need to do 2 podcasts today. I need to do a live for you guys. I need to work on X, Y, and Z, my coaching program, like whatever it is. I know that I need to have a pocket of time a couple times a week to check that off the list. Okay. So if you guys can make that your own, I think that it is so helpful because it gets rid of the overwhelm. It gives us clarity on what our priorities actually are in our life, but then it keeps it so simple that we can actually achieve that goal every week so that we have the clarity. Okay, this is my top priority, but what am I actually going to do to fulfill that priority? And the other thing that I think is really helpful here too is, you guys, I just lost my train of thought. It just came to me and I was like, oh, okay. Calendars. For me, lists and calendars and timers are literally how I live my life. If you looked at my action needed, I don't know what that means. If you looked at my phone, it is every single thing is on a timer. Like at 9 a.m., I need to do X, Y, and Z. And then 10, 11, whatever. Or I have a list on my phone that says like this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you know what I mean? So it just kind of helps you line things out. And then you can say, okay, this is my focus today, or this is my focus this week, or whatever that is. Calendars are really good because I use Google Calendar and you can set up tasks like reminders. If I need to go to a doctor's appointment or I need to check on my taxes or whatever, it's right there and visible. And then you can block out time for, hey, mental health, I need to do a check-in. Or my kid, you can always block out that time because for me, it's visual. If it is out of sight, it is out of mind. But if I see it every day and I say it every day, it becomes real. Okay? That's what I had for you today on this live. Listen, if you happen to like this video, like, comment, throw me a comment so that I can kind of meet with you and talk if you have a question at all. If it's nasty, I'm going to delete it. I don't care because, the people who this is going to help, it's going to help. And I hope you guys are doing so, so well out there. You're going to have more news coming soon. I'm so excited. You can follow me on all other social medias, but I do have a really good podcast, Ballin' and Bipolar, if you guys want to listen to that. I will be out there. I hope I see you out there soon. Keep trudging forward. And remember, tomorrow is a new day. It has never been touched.